What's up, everyone? Welcome back to Talking Blue. I'm Matthew Mooney alongside Luke Langella. It's been a while since we filmed, but we're back. We just got done with finals today for school. And yeah, now we're on summer break. So, obviously, like we just said, it's been a while since we filmed. We're just going to talk about a lot of what's happened since we last filmed. Um, Giants haven't done a whole lot recently, but we are poised to have like a decent season, and our schedule is now out, and the Giants need to find a way to rebound from what was a very disappointing 2023 and need to make this season a good one. Okay, probably not going to make the playoffs, or have anything too special, but you never know. They surprised us 2 years ago. Who's to say that can't happen again? Give me your thoughts on
Yeah.
this upcoming season, Luke.
Yeah, I went to Eastern Conference Final game two and game two of the first series against the Capitals. And I know Matt went to a playoff overtime win for the Islanders. And that environment, that playoff environment, for just hockey we experience, that New York environment, you see it with the Yankees and the Mets too. But especially hockey, seeing your team in the playoffs, seeing New York rock like that, good together. We need the Giants to do that. I mean, it's been a long time since we've had a home playoff game. And that has to be the goal. And I can't lie to you either. I project 6 to 7 wins, and I really hope they do exceed that though. And we know they have the talent now. You look at this receiver core. I'm really happy with it. Uh, let's hop into that. Malik Neighbors. I mean, we've seen him all OTAs making some great catches. Jalen Hyatt looks like he's taking big strides. And then something we didn't exactly talk about much is Darren Waller retirement. Matt, any words on that?
Yeah, so obviously a couple weeks ago he officially announced his retirement from the NFL. It's been a long saga. We've been wondering for a while, is Darren Waller going to retire? Is he going to play? So he officially decided to hang his career up. Obviously he could still come out of retirement and play again, but that's likely not going to happen. He is basically now just like taking a break from football. It's a shame though. Like he was good, but injuries just ruined him as a career, ruined his career. And yeah, I mean, like you said earlier, we need the Giants back in the playoffs. It's great when you have New York teams in the playoffs. Like obviously you for the Rangers and me for the Islanders. Like you just said, I was at Game 4 against Carolina this year. The one win, the Islanders, Matt Barzal in double overtime. It was electric, even though we were down 3-0 in the series. Anytime you see your team in the playoffs, it's just the atmosphere is just unmatched. And for the Giants to be able to host a playoff game at MetLife for once, it would just be an honor as a fan. Obviously, like it's been since 2012 since the last time the Giants hosted a playoff game, so it's been 12 years. Probably not going to happen again for another 3 more years, I think, if I were to guess. But yeah, I mean, I think we're heading in the right direction. What do you think about that, Luke?
Yeah, and I again like you did, I get to see my team win in overtime. You should go. It's final. Barclay Goodrow finished it off. So it's special. I mean, and the Giants have to get back to that. This New York environment, we talk about it all the time. It's so much better. You go to Kansas, they don't have the environment we have here in New York. I mean, anywhere in the country, it's not like New York. And I think we experience that all the time going to our games. And I guess it's frustrating, the Giants, we talk about meaningful football games. That's what we want to play. Last year Tommy DeVito came in and yeah, that season sucked. I mean, that's the only way to put it. But he resurged us and he got us going again. He made some games meaningful. Yeah, it was a long shot to make the playoffs, but he at least made a run. I mean, that Monday night, that primetime game against the Packers. I mean, Matt, wasn't that just a great football game to watch your team play a meaningful game? I mean, that's what we want week after week. And, I don't care who's at quarterback. I don't care who's at receiver. That's just what we want to see. We want to see those games, these close, tight games when the Giants are winning them. And that's the experience we haven't had. Giants haven't been able to finish close games, and they have to work towards that. And that segues into guys like Malik Neighbors. I mean, the Giants, as we know, they're not a good passing team. A lot of times we throw under 200 yards. We got to get Neighbors more involved. We got to get Hyde involved. We got to get Wandell involved. We got Theo Johnson at tight end, Daniel Bellinger obviously they'll complement each other. And then this O line's greatly improved and the running back room's questionable, Matt. So take us in through the offense. What do you think we could be expecting this year?
Yeah, I mean, I think this offense could be a decent amount better because, okay, obviously losing Saquon's a huge loss, but I think the offensive line is going to definitely be a decent amount better. I don't think it's going to be anything extraordinary. Like it's not gonna be a top 10 offensive line. I think it could be like a solid offensive line this year. I think the additions of Runyon and Jermaine Illuminor are very positive for the team. And I think it's gonna really help us. Like now, Daniel Jones, or if we have someone else quarterbacking for us at some point this season, whoever's gonna be the quarterback of this team, let's just put it this way, they will have time to throw the ball away. And
And at the end of the
yeah,
day, whoever's at quarterback, we don't care who, they got to feed our playmakers. Guys like Slayton, Wando, Hyatt, and Malik Neighbors need to get the ball in their hands. I think Slayton made a statement last year. Wando made a statement. Hyatt showed what he could get when he gets the ball. I don't care who the hell the quarterback is. It could be the kicker for all we care. Get those guys the ball and they'll make big plays. That's what they're here to do.
exactly. And obviously, I think Neighbors is going to help us get a lot better offensively. Okay, obviously, some people are making the OBJ comparisons, like comparing him to OBJ. I hope we get um, hope he's the next Beckham, like receiver wise, because we it looks like as of right now, the Giants finally have a competent wide receiver one, which we haven't had for 5 years, and
Yeah.
now seems to be that time.
And I think not only is it a competent receiver, it's a competent receiving core. I think we have a really good receivers by committee. I like what we have here. I mean, I like that potentially our worst receiver in the core had 700 yards last year. I like that Slayton being could be our fourth receiver. I like that we have Hodgins, a great red zone. I really like what we have going here. And that's what I want to segue into the running back room because that's what gets scared. When Giants made it to the divisional round 2 years ago, what made them so special is off the play action. Daniel Jones was able to run after the play action and throw after the play action. They're able to run the crap out of the ball with a hell of a running back in Saquon Barkley, and then they were able to throw off it and get Daniel Jones the ball. I think that's going to be the biggest struggle. They're not going to be able to rely on that run game as much as they would. I mean, Singletary, uh, he's an okay running back. We have Tyrone Tracy too. He's okay. We got Miller. I mean, Eric Gray. I mean, we have some interesting guys there, but Matt, as much as we hate him, we got to admit they're no Saquon Barkley.
Yeah, you're right. Obviously, losing Saquon is not a very replaceable piece. I know a lot of people wanted him gone. I don't see why a lot of people wanted Saquon gone. If I could go back, I would have definitely extended him, but maybe there's something we're not picking up on that the Giants organization has picked up on or other people have that he's gone. And some people are saying he's injury prone and old. Well, he carried the offense. I don't care what anyone says. If the Giants didn't have Saquon in 2022, there would have been no playoffs at all. It would have been an awful
Yeah,
season.
that's a great statement there, Matt. That's 100% right. I think everything the Giants did in 22 was off Saquon, the play action, getting Daniel Jones in the read option game. I mean, they were biting on Saquon every time, and Daniel Jones. I mean, the camera was biting on Saquon. That's how special it is when you're able. And with Daniel Jones' speed, he was able to get on the outside. He could throw the ball like that. That was all Saquon Barkley. I mean, that whole year was just him showing how good of a running back he could be. And knowing that you probably don't have an 1,000 running back, uh, you don't have one of those backs in your room. Again, you need a running back by committee. You need all these guys like Tyrone Tracy, Singletary, Eric Gray. You need these guys to run the crap out of the ball and get us some yards. Because if it's not them, it's no one. I mean, I like the addition of Cramlin, of Versillo, new line coach, and I think he could work greatly with that. But we got to be more consistent because everyone knows complementary football. The run's going to lead to the pass. You could use the run to lead it to the play action pass, get your quarterback involved. And that's what Brian Dable showcased, complementary football. Giants need to get back to that this year.
Yeah, it's definitely something that's going to help out. Another thing with Saquon, like something I wanted the Giants to do is build around him, so he wasn't the entire offense, so he could be even better. And obviously last year, so you're gonna try to figure out we got to figure out like what the Giants did wrong in the offseason. I guess a theory I've had for a few months now is just they didn't add enough. And honestly, making Darren Waller your biggest offseason acquisition was I guess might have kind of been a mistake in a way. I'm fine with it. I was fine with him. It's just unfortunate that injuries had to ruin him. When you're trying to have a big offseason, never make your biggest acquisition an injury prone guy because if you don't have him, then And if you only have like only a couple, like one guy who's gonna like really help your offense out, you're essentially screwed if you get the point I'm trying to make here, right,
Yeah.
Luke?
Yeah, and what was interesting last year, talking about injuries, Daniel Jones obviously didn't play most of the year. Um, we said we didn't have the guys, but what was interesting is we know back in 2022, once the Giants were getting these third and longs, they had nobody to throw the ball downfield. We couldn't get it going. We couldn't hit those deep passes. What was interesting though to me is that once Daniel Jones stopped playing, who Daniel Jones does have a nice deep ball, Tyrod Taylor and Tommy DeVito, we hit a lot of deep passes. I mean, Slate in general, he caught a lot of passes downfield. Hyatt, Wando, those guys are making plays. Even Waller had a few downfield. So it makes me interesting. Maybe we just got to give these guys a chance and push it downfield more. I know like I was saying, I like complimentary football, and that's what they have to get more of. But sometimes it feels like with Daniel Jones, they were never attacking the deep pass, and the defense weren't giving up because the Giants weren't even trying. And you look at all these flashy teams, the Chiefs, the Bills, they're throwing the ball up every single time and they're catching the ball. Why can't we? Is it that I don't believe that we couldn't. I just think we need to work on that. And that's what I think Dable will do. Dable had an explosive offense in Buffalo. Obviously, he's taking over at the offensive helm. I expect to see more pushing the ball downfield this year.
Yeah, I agree with you. Another thing you said about pushing the ball downfield this year, I think something the Giants need to work on. I thought their playbook with Mike Kafka controlling the offense was terrible. All right. I've come on here, and if you've been watching a lot of our episodes for or like since September, you would probably know I'm not a fan of Mike Kafka's playbook. And another thing is we need to throw the ball deep more downfield, like you just said. All we do is throw small 4 yard passes. That's not going to get you to win football games. You got to throw the ball downfield a lot. And another problem I have with Mike Kafka is he keeps running the same play over and over again when it's clearly not working, and we end up having to punt the ball on fourth down. You got to do something a little different, and maybe it'll work. Um, we
Yeah,
gotta definitely give Hyatt the ball downfield, get him downfield so we can throw the ball to him, and that's when he's his best. When he has a deeper route, he gets the ball, he's gonna be explosive. And same thing with Neighbors, he's a very good deep ball guy. He can pretty much do it all, and I think he's a perfect wide receiver one for the Giants. And I think this receiving core is going to be much better. And I think we're more capable of throwing deep passes, especially with Dable calling the plays. I think he's a great play caller offensively, and I can't wait to see what he brings to this offense this year.
yeah. And another thing I love that you just said is Kafka is running the same plays, especially in the run game. I mean, our run game in the second half of the year did struggle really bad at some points, and he was running these stretch plays every single play. I mean, I could have counted. I didn't have enough fingers to count how many times he was running stretch last year. It wasn't working. We didn't have guys getting outside and blocking on the outside. I know what he was trying to do, get Saquon on the outside, but it wasn't working. And he kept on running it. Saquon kept on losing 3 yards every single run. We look at it, he didn't run for over 1,000 yards last year. Yes, he did miss time, but that's a big reason because the plays were not in his favor. So I'd like to see some more creativity. I liked how they were getting Wanda the ball. I like creativity. I mean, the defense knew you were giving it to Saquon almost every single play. We need to get different guys involved. We need to try different run schemes, different concepts if we want to have we want to have a diverse offense. We don't just want to have an offense that just runs the same place. That's not going to win us games down the line.
Yeah, speaking of what you just said, defense always knowing your Saquon's gonna get the ball. Another thing I want to bring up was the Jets game. Once Tyrod got hurt, Tommy DeVito was just handing it to Saquon every single play, and he was just okay. He had a couple of big runs that game, but oftentimes it wasn't working. And like you gotta, I don't care who your quarterback is, you gotta let them throw a pass. And we didn't really do that. I thought Dable coached a horrible game offensively, and I thought Kafka did an awful job with the play calls as well. And like with what Dable did at the end of the game was so stupid. Like obviously attempting to kick the field goal on 4th and 1 when you could have just ran the ball one more time. Obviously the defense knew it was going to come anyways, but if you get the fourth down, you win the game. If not, there's still a chance that you win, but you take more time, a little bit of time off the clock. And went for the
I,
field goal with Graham Gano, who already missed a field goal. We had awful conditions, and he missed, and the Jets went downfield and tied the game. It was just a disaster.
And man, I mean, you brought up a lot of good points, man. We could talk about it for 4 hours. We talked the rest of the day about how the season went last year because it wasn't good. They didn't finish those games. I mean, me and you personally have talked about it. You and I, we've talked about it millions of times of the one play difference in so many of our games last year. We could have made the playoffs if we finished probably about 5 plays in the whole year. We finished 5 plays, we would have won the game. And we're not going to go through them because we've gone through them plenty on this podcast. We talk about it all the time. You got to finish. You got to play the game from start to finish. It's a 60-minute ball game. You can't take off the final minute, and that showed last year. Giants seemed tired. They seemed done. Too many games this year. They fell apart in the fourth quarter. That can't happen this year. They have to be they have to be hitting their stride in the fourth quarter. It seemed like a lot of their games were declining. I mean, there's a lot of games they played close at the halftime, just lost the game in the third or fourth quarter. We know that can't happen this year. I think it gets off to a good start. I really like our matchup. Let's talk a little about that. Week one, Minnesota Vikings. Last year, our week one matchup, we got smoked on our own turf, embarrassed on primetime football against the Dallas. Do not let that happen again on our 100th year anniversary against the Minnesota Vikings and Sam Darnold, one of the worst quarterbacks in the league.
Yeah. Yeah, I think the Giants have a relatively easy, or not easy, but like a decent schedule. I thought this was a fair schedule. Obviously, comparing it to obviously the schedule last year was terrible. I thought it was a horrible schedule, like I just said. I'm gonna put this up on the screen right now for you guys. So week one, playing Minnesota at home. Week two, we're playing Washington on the road, and week three we play Cleveland on the road. Week four, we got a primetime game at home versus Dallas. Hopefully, it's not the same thing as it was last year when we hosted them week one. Week five, we go to Seattle. Week six, another primetime game. We host Cincinnati under the bright lights, which on Sunday night, which I'm pretty excited about. I'm not even gonna lie. I think
Me
that's gonna
too.
be a fun game. Week seven is the ultimate game we've been waiting for, Saquon's return. Week eight, we got another primetime game in Pittsburgh. Week nine, we host Washington. Week 10, we go to Germany to play Carolina. Then we have our bye week. Then we host Tampa. I'm just gonna go through this real quickly, just so this isn't the rest of the episode. We got Tampa at home, Dallas on the road for Thanksgiving. We host New Orleans and Baltimore back-to-back weeks. Then we go to Atlanta, host Indianapolis, then we go to Philadelphia to end the season off. So yeah, it's gonna be a fun schedule. And
Yeah,
yeah, I think the
I,
Giants
I
have
think
to.
it's a fair. I think it's fair schedule, and like you're saying, the Giants have to do. At the end of the day, we just gotta win football games, man. Prime time, not prime time, and that starts week one. You can't start off your season and get killed at home on prime time and be embarrassed in front of the NFL. Let's start off the season and let's embarrass the Vikings. Let's embarrass them. I mean, right now it seems Sam Darnold, but if it's JJ McCarthy, we better rough his little Michigan ass up.
Mhm.
Let's see it.
Yeah. Obviously, we cannot lose to either JJ McCarthy or Sam Darnold week one. Week one, you got to go out and make a statement win. Just everyone, I've been hearing everyone say the Giants are gonna be um a 3-win team or a 4-win team. From an unbiased perspective, I just don't see that happening. Like, I think I'm not gonna give my record prediction until September or end of August, but as of right now, I'm just gonna say I think ceiling for this team is 10-7, floor is 5-12. We're probably gonna be somewhere in the middle around there.
Yeah. Yeah, that's what I'm sitting same way as you, and then we'll have to see. I mean, we'll have to see the preseason goes. You don't know if guys will get hurt in between. A lot could happen. We still got a lot of months till the season starts, but yeah, we're closing in on it. I mean, about 2 months away from preseason football, which is exciting, and the season will start. And I think that's really it from me and Matt. We enjoyed this overview, and we like to keep on pumping out content now. It's summer. We'll get you on any of the updates. We love the content. A lot of likes and comments on our TikTok videos. We'll continue to post on that. And that's it for me. Go Giants.
Yeah, that's really it for the episode. Hope you guys enjoyed. Like, comment, subscribe, share this video with a few friends, and yeah, we'll see you guys later. Let's go, Giants.